2, 1.
Hello, everybody. It's Laurie Johnson here, and I'm here with my friend Angela Crowley. And we're going to be talking a lot about just brain stuff today, which I'm really, really excited about. And first of all, just to introduce myself, I co-own the Pilates studio with my business partner, Katrina Hawley. And Angela and Katrina have actually been doing some of these Facebook Lives over the past few weeks. And she was supposed to be doing this one, but a really interesting thing happened that got me into the seat instead. So Angela and I will talk to you about that in a little bit. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Laurie. So great to see you. Great to
So
be
good
here.
to see you. So good to see you as
I'm
well.
really excited about this topic because it's so far reaching to so many of us at this moment in time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you want to give a little introduction of you and your expertise with neuroplasticity and sort of set the stage for where we'll be going?
Sure. So I have a background in movement arts overall, and became a Pilates instructor and then studied the Feldenkrais method. During that time, I was recovering from a car accident, and I found that the Feldenkrais method helped me to really shift at a really deep level.
Mm-hmm.
But that level not only included my movement, I found myself to become better organized, to be more calm, to have more space between me and whatever was going on around me in a very rewarding way, which sort of brings us to our subject of the day. I love your title, Calm Within the Chaos. Right?
What I try to achieve every day.
Yeah. And who of us is not living amidst chaos at this moment in time?
I haven't met anyone yet.
So I want to share a quote with you just because it really struck me.
Yeah.
So there was research done in 1936 by a Hungarian endocrinologist, and in his research he found that when animals were subjected to acute but different noxious physical and emotional stimuli, that they exhibited pathologic changes in stomach ulcerations, shrinkage in lymphatic tissue, and enlargement of the adrenals or stress receptors.
Wow.
That was in 1936.
Wow. I can't even imagine why they were looking for that back then, but wow.
So can you imagine what it is like now? I mean, one of the causes they experiment, one of the things they experimented with was simply noise and perpetual frustration. Yeah. Our world is so filled with both of those, right? Like we're bombarded by sound of machines, of cars, of traffic, of television, it goes on and on, right?
Even just the buzz that you almost aren't even aware of, like electronics.
That's right. The buzz, right?
Buzz.
So we're not really organically made to deal with a chronic input of stress like that. Yeah. And I mean, it's one thing if there's an acute stress, all the responses that happen to us that drive the adrenals off and change our breathing and put us into a fight or flight response are highly appropriate. However, when it goes on and goes on and goes on day after day, it entrenches what we've talked about in neuroplasticity. It entrenches the circuits. So the circuits become stronger and stronger in that way. So we sort of become better at being stressed. It sort of becomes a habit. Like our guard is up most of the time. And then there are all kinds of things that can contribute to that. There's just the world around us, but then other factors too, like such as pain or such as some unusual loss or I'm working with some people who have long COVID right now, and other people who have dealt with, interestingly, high success in their lives. So people that are on at a really high level, like their on-off switch stops working
Yeah,
in a
right,
certain way.
right.
And so when we're in this really heightened state, what's going on in our brain is designed to deal with an emergency, which makes it very difficult to sense sort of finite day in, day out things. So I'd love it if you would share with us what that's about for you.
Right, sure. So we had actually been, we had a meeting, maybe it was like a week or two ago with
Yeah.
Katrina, and we were preparing for this Facebook Live with you and her, and, talking about this stuff um, and how so many people can relate to what you were just saying. And I was taking notes, and because I was going to be writing the marketing language and all that for you, I was taking notes, and then like I just froze in space and got like clumped in my throat, and like tears started coming down my eyes. You said something, well, you said a number of, oh, I just got goosebumps again. You said a number of things, and it was something about the just the constant bombardment.
Yeah.
And you were talking about your course that's coming up, and we'll talk more about that, but how it's a place for, a person to just go in and get that space where they can, I think you used the word recalibrate, and
Yeah,
it was
it's
like,
a reset.
or yeah, reset, or it was something just like that. And I almost couldn't even listen anymore, because it was the words you were using to explain this. I was like, oh my God, that is what is going on in my mind every day, where I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I function? I'm a smart grown-up person. I've got lots of resources and everything. Why can't I function? And and I do, I mean, I pretty much have that be my full-time project, is I meditate an hour every day. I make sure to get movement and exercise. I go to therapy. I even do neurofeedback training. So yeah, and yeah, I'm still stuck with this. What's wrong with my brain? Why do I forget everything? Why can't I hold anything? Why do I feel like what you were saying, I think you were saying before, like just exhausted
Yeah,
from all
exhausted,
this stuff.
exhausted. And I find that most people who are living this kind of experience
Mhm.
both feel exhausted and kind of like numbed out at the
Yeah.
same time.
Hmm.
It makes it very difficult to, and so we try harder, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
trying harder to fix it
Uh-huh.
only makes it grow, only
Yeah.
makes it worse, because it's the stress, and
Mhm.
trying is stressful, right?
Yeah.
So for many people, you can tell me if this is true for you or not, the idea of, I mean, I'm a big believer in meditation,
Hmm.
but the attempt to meditate is sometimes like one more job.
Hmm.
And one more thing that's hard to do, because you're trying to use your mind that's
Hmm.
already stressed to fix, like you said, to fix the problem,
Right, right.
which is just sometimes putting more emphasis in the experience of how far you are from the
Yeah.
calm. And why can't I meditate? And why is this so hard? I'm going to keep trying.
Right.
But again, that trying and the stress is sometimes just in the exact opposite direction.
Yeah.
So, um, and what I want to share is that from a neuroplastic perspective, what's happened is the wiring has become so strong for your
Mhm.
state of being that it's like no matter how hard you try, it just like grows those circuits, if you will,
Mhm.
in your brain. It makes it more habitual that that's how you react.
Right.
So in this course, I'm going to utilize the Feldenkrais method.
Mhm.
And what's so different about that is that it was created by a physicist, Dr. Feldenkrais, who also studied a lot about biology and evolutionary movement.
Okay.
So the thing is, we're all really just animals, right? So those rats or whatever that guy was testing in 1936, we through evolution all have the same makeup, right? We all have the same stress responders, whether you're a cat or a dog or you or me, whether you have long COVID, whether you have ADHD, whether you have, like I am recovering from a brain injury, right? And I have found these tools to be incredibly, they're my go-to, they're my reset to this state of how when my functioning is going down, my temperament is going sideways, right? How do I get back home? How do I do it? And in the design of the Feldenkrais movements, they're not exercises per se.
Right.
They're designed to help us deal with how we organize ourselves.
Yeah.
So how we organize ourselves is usually very consistent throughout ourselves. So one of my favorite teachers used to say, like, a cauliflower is a cauliflower. If you look at the whole thing, it looks like a cauliflower. If you pick up one piece of it, it still looks like a cauliflower. So it's like how we react to traffic and how we react to stresses at work, our responses tend to be parallel.
Yep.
And there's a way to access that organization by going into movements that one of the most important things that I think we were talking about that day is that instead of trying to fix it, go into a place that a very relaxing state of being, and you get to dive inside your own sensations. And through movement, you get to explore patterns that have incredibly soothing sensations. So it's like you get vacation from the world,
So I have a little experience with Feldenkrais, not much. It was actually a required course when I was in school for massage therapy. And we crawled a lot, we rolled around a lot. And that's basically all that was my experience with Feldenkrais. So how does that work into what you're talking about?
Right. Why crawling? Why rolling around? That's what we do when we're infants. So that's what we're doing. That's how we're organizing ourselves at a level that's before we're speaking, before we're organizing our thoughts, before we could be told to meditate, for example. So it's going to a deeper level of organization in ourselves, where there's a tremendous amount of knowledge that's inherent, like in your DNA, basically. Like no one had to tell you, most people, how to crawl or how to roll over from side to side. So there's a tremendous amount of intelligence there, but it actually goes deeper than that. Like it goes deeper into our ancestry of when we were apes, for example. It's like thousands and thousands or millions of years of knowledge that we all carry around. So it's like, instead of trying to get to the issue from the outside in, like from using your own mind to change your own mind, you go deeper inside to where there's a switch that is so deeply ingrained that your body, your brain recognizes it.
Wow.
Yeah. And utilizes those connections that are there in each of us and creates comfort and creates something that you can do and you can succeed at. And through the sensation, through the pleasurable sensation, your brain is attracted to that. and starts to build new wiring and new circuitry from that, which means it's detracted from the stress, from the overwhelm. So it gives you a venue of sort of jumping out of the world that you live in into a place that's very, very pleasant. And it's also about learning to sense your sensations in a way that you learn to be very kind to yourself, like, which is so different than the fixing it model, right?
Right.
It's like how to soothe yourself through movement, and then that spreads throughout your whole being. Yeah,
we talked a lot about the nervous system on our call that day, and yeah, I mean, we do have this incredible, amazing system that's working in us all the time. And
right, which is just now being recognized by science, but it's always been there. And that's really the genius of Dr. Feldenkrais, and what I want to present to this course, and why I want to make it open to everyday people, is there's logic there and science there that once you understand it, it's much easier to buy into it because it makes so much sense. And you get an experience of the shift. So we're going to do a number of movement explorations using Feldenkrais, and each one gives you an experience. So, and relief brings belief, right? And just by experiencing that shift, as I said, your brain is attracted to it, and they're very simple things that you can carry in your back pocket that you could be doing right now, sitting there, and no one would know it but you.
Wow. So like behind my computer, and I open my inbox and just cleared it out 5 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden, there's so many more. It's like you're going to teach techniques and things that somebody like me could do just in front of my desk, be like, to
back
get
a second, drop inside, do a few of these movements, and it's one of those things that, like any other kind of learning, it's not like it is a quick fix, but the more you do it, the more it becomes part of how you remember to react.
Neurons that fire together, wire together. Is that the thing they say?
Exactly. So shifting from the wiring together of stress, overwhelm, I can't focus, I can't do this right now, to, oh, there it is, there's the calm. Okay, let me step back. And it's also, when we react habitually, the habits happen before we think about it. And when we learn to create a separation, a pause, and which is what we do in the movements, you learn to have that moment of options of how you're going to approach this. And then you begin to learn to integrate that into your daily life. And so it just becomes more and more a part of how you go about living your life.
To the point where where that in and of itself becomes the good habit, and you're maybe not even thinking about it anymore, but it's happening in your brain and in your nervous system without you having to consciously do it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It becomes more habitual. The new positive way starts to become more habitual, and you become more sensitive. Like usually the overwhelm just happens really fast, right?
Out of nowhere, boom.
Yeah. And you begin to become sensitive to when it's starting to happen, so that you can back up and shift gears sooner than later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds incredible. It's just amazing that I'm working with you in a business capacity, and we're working on marketing, we're working on all of this, and it just, wow, like speaking right to me and right to
Yeah,
so many people. I mean, and I think this is also something else that a lot of people just keep it in up here, um, because it's it's not something that we it's almost like the new cool to say, I'm so stressed, I'm so stressed, I'm so busy. It's like a badge of honor or something nowadays. Um,
right,
so
right.
yeah, so
And
it's
what's really interesting is that with that stress state of being, we're actually wasting a ton of energy.
mm,
Like the tension that goes on, like you can see somebody walk in the door when you're teaching, right? You can see that they're bug-eyed, right? And that, or you can see that they're exhausted, one of the two.
mhm.
And um that that state of being, um I just lost where I was going with that.
That state of
With
being,
that.
like it takes, I mean, that state of being just takes so much energy that
The
you're
energy, thank you,
unaware
thank
of.
you. The energy. So the energy is wasting a lot of energy,
Mm,
right? Like the
mm,
tension that goes with it. People will be, their hands will be tight, for example,
mhm.
their diaphragm is tight, so their digestion is messed up, right? And all of that is a waste of energy. And by learning these techniques to unwind unnecessary energy,
Mm,
it actually frees us to be more creative and more focused in our mind, because
wow.
we're not wasting energy with all that excessive stress that's really just a habit. It's really not necessary for the task you're about to do.
No. Yeah.
It's just become a habit.
Mhm.
So, but it's like a siren, right? That is, it's such a high level, and to learn how to switch that off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got so much more juice for creative thoughts.
Wow.
Yeah, and for managing things.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a client, so Feldenkrais is done in two ways. One is hands-on,
Mhm.
and the other way is in verbally instructed movements, which is what we'll do throughout the course. And I had a client recently receive a hands-on session,
Mhm.
and she was like, wow, I feel like I had a massage. And then she said, no, I feel like I spent a day in a spa, actually. And she's like, how do I take that with me? Like, and then she went back to, I guess I need to do more exercises to relax my shoulders. I'm like, no, that's not what we just did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We didn't approach it from the outside. And she and I have since started working on Zoom because she's traveling and doing the sorts of things that you and I are talking about.
Mhm.
And she's so happy because she's learning that it's within her, she has the power within herself
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
learn how to integrate these tools and to get really positive results.
Right. So you don't have to then go to another practitioner, do another yoga
Exactly.
class, take another medication, take a homeopathic remedy. Like
You
it's
have tools
right,
within
that our
yourself.
body already knows. Our body
That
already
your
knows.
body already knows, that your body, you just have to tap into them and give them a gentle reminder, and they just the brain is attracted to it.
Yeah.
We are attracted to it. It's the feeling of feeling good, right?
Yeah.
The feeling of feeling your own sensations, the feeling of feeling soothed through movement. It's better than taking a nap. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
so refreshing. And then I find when I do it for myself or with my clients, when they get up, their perspective is completely different.
Mhm. I can,
It,
yeah, I can relate to that. I would call it like, I call those moments when I'm in the flow
yeah,
and everything
yeah,
is just moving easy. And it's like,
yeah,
like there's no gook in the way. And it
yeah,
just feels so good.
yeah. A sense of clarity of visual focus,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
A sense of clarity of the space around you,
Yep.
right? A
Yep.
sense of clarity of how your body feels.
Mhm.
And from there, we're in a much better place to make decisions. And allows again for just so much more juice to put into creative energy, like the work that you do all the time, right?
Right.
So it's like a signal when that creativity is not there, like when the frustration's there, trying to push through it, trying to make yourself meditate
Mhm.
is a pretty tough way, an almost impossible, right, way to get through it. Whereas if you use these tools, your the deeper levels of your nervous system recognize them, and they can bring you, with practice, bring you home more and more quickly.
That sounds lovely,
Yeah,
lovely. So
yeah.
this course that we've been referring to, very exciting. It's coming up in October. Is completely online, correct?
Yes, completely online. So no matter where people are, they can participate. People have asked me if they have like a back problem or different issues, can they participate? It's highly adaptable as well. So people can find a way to be comfortable and enjoy the course.
Okay.
And some people can attend the whole thing. We will have recordings available as well.
Okay.
And what I love about it is we're doing it 2 days, October 21st and 28th.
Okay.
So it gives you time in between to practice some of what you've learned.
Okay.
And then there's enough repetition that you go layer by layer deeper into having a new way of being.
Gotcha. So you just keep learning, just keep
Keep
going,
un-
keep feeling better and better.
unraveling. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, and folks can find out definitely a lot more about this course at your website, which is right above your head there. Oh, well, neuroplasticityaction.com. So
Right.
right above your head there. And there's also, I know, if they want, if people out there want tips or, other little nuggets of helpful information, signing up for your email list, you send out, just great little, hey, try this or try that. And this is what, just little tips that you can easily
We
digest.
have a lot we want to share. Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot to read, just a little. And yeah, so all they have to do is join your email list. Oh, I'm very much looking forward to your course. I know I was going to be participating, behind the scenes with it, just, professionally with our working relationship here, but wow, I'm excited now.
Yeah, I'm really excited for people to know that from all walks of life,
Mhm.
they're welcome to join, because we're all sharing in these same struggles,
Right.
in the world that we live in. And it's so exciting to offer these tools and see the changes in people, see people feel like they do have options, they do have ways of feeling more calm, more connected, more clear.
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining this Facebook Live. I hope to do more Facebook Lives with you. As I said in the beginning, you've been mainly talking to my business partner, Katrina Hawley, who is a Pilates instructor and educator. But yeah, this has been fantastic to jump in and see you on this
Thanks for being
side.
so willing to share your
Oh,
experience.
yes.
It's really helpful to others.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, if you need any information about Angela's course, just go to her website, neuroplasticityaction.com, sign up for her email list, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.